As you can probably see, I've been doing a bit of spring cleaning, and just in time too, because I was sent a Series 3 dash top and dash bottom here that needs recovering. Well, not recovering, it didn't have a heart attack or anything like that, but the original finish was here. This is quite bad, and I took it, actually I usually recover the dash by putting a new finish on top of the original plastic, if you get my drift. But in this instance it was so bad, you know, it'd been sun dried for years and years, since the 70s, that it was not repairable. We couldn't put a vinyl over the top of this one, so we took it all off, and to get it off all you need, hot air gun, and just warm it up gradually and then it'll just peel off. Now that's okay for this one, let's get rid of that. So this is going to be pretty much straightforward. The problem is this one has actually come off, the backing, the foam's come off completely. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to glue this back on. I'm going to trim these edges off here, you know, where it hooks over. I'm going to trim them off with a knife, then I'm going to cut this with contact adhesive and this side with contact adhesive, and I'm going to leave it for a day for it to get really nice and bonded to this, and then I'm going to have a go to see if we can pull off this vinyl, because if I start to pull it, warm it and pull it up, I could break the foam, if you see what I mean. I must keep that foam back in, it's really important. And we have to do something funky round here, because you can see there's a bit missing. That's going to be a problem. Not too much of a problem. So first of all, let me trim it off and then I'll show you what it's going to look like. With all the rubbish taken off the edges where it's all folded round, it looks a completely different beast now. It looks a bit more manageable. So we'll just try it on here, see what it's going to look like. You have to be careful because you don't want to break anything. Yeah, you see. That's going to fit really nice. Now he said he's had it repaired. Yes, he has had it repaired. He's had a new panel fitted on the back of here. But these are the sort of things you check straight away, because even though he's had it a piece repaired, they haven't got the screw holes in here. There's 3 of them missing, so I'm going to drill those in first. And looks like there was one at that end as well. Yeah, they're putting them. Yeah, there's none in this end here. You see the holes are missing here. They've done a nice job on it, I must admit. But yeah, we've got to find out where those holes are. So I'm going to mark those up and drill them, because you don't want to drill them once it's got vinyl on, because the vinyl will twist and rip, so we don't want that. Let me mark them out. I just marked the holes up and I noticed something else when I turned it over. There's no, this is being cut out tremendously, and there's no support across here. This is just going to wave around in midair. I'm going to have to contact the guy to see what to do here. I really don't know, because I can't leave it. Because you see, the thing is, I don't want to put vinyl on and glue it and then find out they're going to weld another piece in here. So, typically, project stopped. So, let me get in touch with the guy and then we'll come back to this project. So, I've applied with my spraying gun, my old spraying gun, because it's a bit worn out now, a coat on both sides, and I've left it 10-15 minutes or so, and now I'm going to put it on. I don't like doing this because sometimes you get it wrong, you know. Right, here goes. I'm going to line it up first of all by the holes here. Why is that? Because this has got a bow in it. It's got so old, it's bowed. Same with this side. And now we can clag it on. And this is where these chaps come in. Remember these in my shop? Sometimes if they're a bit big, you can take those rubber things out. Then we can put that under here. Let's get a better one. And then we can clamp it like that, look. This is a very bad thing to clamp, because all the it's curled so badly. Still will manage. It's actually shrunk. That's going to be fun. I should have prepped up some of these clamps beforehand. Oh, damn it. Oh no, let's go. We'll be busy. Boy, this is bad. Look at this. It's shrunk so much. It's pulling away. It's just shrunk around here. So what I'm going to have to do is fill this with glue it, fill it with foam, spray foam, and then remold it to shape. It'll come out nice, but the actual panel is contracted. Now I've got a problem here, and you know the only way I'm going to fix that is I can't clamp it because it's at an angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some long screws. Because I've got to repair this anyway, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to use some washers and long screws and pull all that down tight. I've got no choice because even the clamps won't grip around here. If we had something on these where the screw holes go, I would have something to work on, but I've got nothing, so let me do that. Well, this is the worst one I've ever done. I had to resort to some serious spreader washers and screws to hold it down because my clamps wouldn't go deep enough. Because this, like I say, it had curled, I'm just hoping that it's going to bond. Now the thing is, because it's foam, it should curl back again, and I think it's the rigid plastic that's holding it, you know, like actually curling it. I won't know, but you see, in order to take it off, I've got to bond the foam to the metalwork, and then I can heat up this, take it off, and then we can do some repairs on it. It's going to take a little bit longer than I thought. It doesn't matter, it's only no rushes, nobody's going anywhere. Yeah, so it looks a bit unusual, but and don't worry about the holes because I just fill them up with spray foam. See what I mean? You know, like the housing spray foam, you know, you get for doing cavity walls and stuff like that. So that's that. I've put this was a tricky one to do at the bottom here. That was a bugger. But then, like I said, there's some gaps around here that we've got to do something funky with. Fill it with foam and then reshape this because it's actually shrunk. With the age of the foam and being a heater as well, it hasn't fared too kindly on the materials. And although I can replace the vinyl, that's not a problem. It's the foam I can't do. You know, I can't do the foam. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Okay, so this is early the next day, and our foam repair has dried off. Now this is why I've got very early, because I want to get a wriggle on and get this done. When you excuse me, when you're using spray foam, this expanding foam, it's really good for doing repairs on foam, if you see what I mean, because it's not as hard as the original stuff, but it's got that little bit of flexibility. You must let it cure. It looks fine from the outside, you know. But inside it's like one of those sweeties that's soft inside and hard on the outside, and it won't dry and it's horrible, so you've got to leave it quite a while. Anyway, less of that rambling, but how did it stick? We're not bothered about dimples or anything like that yet. Take our clamps off. Put them back in the shop later. It would have been really nice to use some sort of a wooden mould, just clamp it all together, but as I said yesterday, that this was really bad, and that's glued lovely. That really has glued lovely. Let's take that off. Put our washers back in our assorted washer box. We've got different types of screws, because I ran out of screws. Like I say, I'm not bothered about holes in it, because we'll just fill them up and it's going to get covered over anyway. But so far, it's looking good. I think this is the worst one I've ever done. It has to be the worst one. So if we can salvage this, we can salvage just about anything. Because what I want to do this morning is take off this vinyl, if it will. That's that. The cover on so they don't all fall on the floor. Right. Will this come off? Now that's stuck really well onto there. That glue's done a good job. Will it come off? Let's see. Warming up. And just do small sections at a time. Hey, look at that. See? Ta-da! Pleased with that. I'm going to get on and continue taking that off. Now, that's done. Next thing we're going to do, I spoke to the customer yesterday, and you can see there's no metal support around here. Well, he's going to put one of those Raptor front dashes on, so we can trim this off. Now this would have had an ashtray here on the front, so I plugged the holes up. Now we can have a look at this nude. Nude day. I put a bit of spray foam. Oh, we can't see, can you? I put spray foam here to build this up. So the moral of, well, not the moral, but the object of this exercise is I've got to get early start, so maybe this later today I can work this. But what I'm going to do is see where this foam here has shrunk and there's a corner here still exposed. I'm going to build this up with spray foam and sand it down. So let me get some gear out. We'll prep up this bit here and have a look and see what else we've got to put on. You'll see, it'll come right. What's that grit? 40 grit. Now there's a bit inside there. That's alright. It's alright. That's looking alright. There you see, we've got a nice, it's supposed to be sort of a little rounded round here, well, not too bad. So what I've got to do now is blow this off and fill up around here. This is actually quite good actually, I was quite surprised with that. It's almost like I did it. Shave off that corner so it's a bit more rounded. Yeah, this edge here is, although it's got a cap that goes over it, let's do a proper job and we'll put some spray foam all the way around here. That repair came out nice, got a bit more to do down there. Let's give it a good old blow job. Oops, where's my blow gun gone? Oh, actually. You can't put spray foam on top of dust. The gun I'm using is an industrial gun. That means this cartridge, once you've opened it, will keep fresh. The only downside is the nozzles block up in the end, but a quick wire brush will sort that out. Let me go and do that.